Do you believe luck happens randomly?
We're about to blow your mind.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
If you asked an audience the question, which we speak every week, and we always ask, do you wish that you could have more luck in your life? How many hands go up?
All the hands go up.
Every single hand are like, oh, I wish that I had more luck. Like some people, luck just
Some
turns
guys
to gold.
have all the luck. Some guys have all the pain.
I had to get your key for a second.
Well, don't reach for my keys because I'll change them in a heartbeat.
But it's true. Some people just are naturally lucky.
It's a skill that they've built, and whether they know it or not, it's something that they have found the right pattern to live in.
It starts with a belief.
Yes.
Then it's followed by thoughts. It is anchored by feelings.
Yes, 100%.
And then it is lifted off with action.
Yes, and it's proven by those actions, which then go back and reinforce those beliefs. So, and then that just reinforces that pattern. And so they keep living in that, and that keeps producing these lucky opportunities and results.
These lucky moments. And now here's the thing, is that once people start living into the upward spiral, because most people, let's face it, they are in the downward spiral. They are in survival mode.
Yes.
They are not thriving at life. But once you start getting a little taste of that thriving mode, of that living lucky, you start getting momentum. And when you do, your beliefs start to get a little more confident. Your thoughts start to live even further into it. Your feelings start to get into a higher vibration. And then you start taking action. You start taking more risks on yourself.
You start taking that different action. And that's the thing is an object in motion tends to stay in motion in the direction it's going in, unless it's acted on by an opposite force, right? And that's when Mike Tyson says everything's going well until
everything has a plan. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
And so that's the opposite force, right? And then we get a different...
I've been punched in the face a few times.
Then we get a different thought and feeling in that moment. And it's catching that thought and feeling and saying, okay, is this how the rest of the day goes? Is this how the rest of my life goes? Or was this a moment?
Yes.
But what happens is we grab hold of it. We grab hold of that moment and say, this is how life is now.
Yeah.
And then we carry it.
Not only do we carry it, sometimes it becomes intertwined into our DNA of who we are.
So true.
I'm trauma.
And so now think about that and think about the trajectory and the momentum. So now we've taken this success forward momentum that we were on this upward trajectory, and we've now started going in this doom loop downward. And we start looking for, where's the next punch in the face coming from? And that's what news does to us.
Yeah, you start living on the defensive.
Yeah.
Like, oh. And that's a different energy.
And you start showing up differently in every situation because now you're not looking for opportunities. You're looking for survival.
You're looking to protect yourself.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Uh-oh.
I've got to get through the day, not get from the day.
Life's out to get me. Oh, poor me.
There's a whole different feeling in getting through the day and getting from the day.
You know, in our old podcast intro and outro, we would say, stop the doom loop of despair and start living in an upward success cycle or spiral, however you want to say it. And it really is that easy.
Yeah, some people didn't get it. Some people don't understand that. If you get the visual of it, it makes perfect sense because we've been in both. You know,
oh, have we?
You know, it just so happens that once we started living lucky and fully embodying it,
yes,
it's easy to stop those slips and slides towards the doom loop.
The slips and slides.
Because you catch
You make
that
it sound
thought.
a little fun.
You catch-
when you say
right.
slips and
It's like-
slides, I'm like, oh, remember that big old banana thing
Yeah.
we used to put water on? And
in that old game, Chutes and Ladders, when we were kids.
slips and slides.
You don't like going down the chute of the chute.
It's
but
more fun going up, though,
yeah.
for most people.
I'm winning. Like Charlie Sheen. That's horrible.
No, but there was something to that.
Yeah.
When you do have this feeling and belief that you are winning, you start winning more. You attract experiences where you win. It's almost like a communication with the universe. This is how I like to
It's
feel.
communication with anything you're going against.
We're constantly manifesting. People don't quite understand that. But I'm here to tell you, we are constantly manifesting, and we are either manifesting what we want or we are manifesting our deepest fears.
Yeah. Everything you have right now is a result of what you've picked and what you've decided. Decisions way back when are what have shown up for you right now.
That is such a good point. Everything you are experiencing right now is something that you created. And sometimes you're like, no, I did not create this. I did not create this, Jana and Jason. However, if you look back, sometimes there's a latency period and it may take years to actually come to fruition. But everything that you are experiencing in your life, whether it is the good and happy vibrations, love, abundance, just joy, or if it's living in lack. I mean, maybe your bank account is constantly
Yeah. Paycheck to paycheck or just below that.
or in the red.
Right.
That's something that you
run out of month
created
before you run out of paycheck.
You created years ago. It may have even
other way
been
around.
instilled in your programming when you were a child. So everything that we are doing, we have created long ago in our past.
Yeah. And it's easy to look back. Like if we look back and examine it, because we've taken so much time to look back and examine how did we get here? Like what is the path? What are the footsteps that got us right here?
Here's the thing. So when we speak, often we talk about luck, and I'll even ask the audience, when was the last time you felt lucky? What were your thoughts about that? What were your feelings?
Some weird
about
answers
I know
there.
people are like, oh, I thought I was about to have a pleasurable moment. That's when I thought I was going to be lucky.
We're not in Vegas, sir.
Like, we're not talking about sex, but sometimes we are. It's a choice. People are under the misconception that luck is just a random thing, but there's actually science behind all of this. And we attract the experiences that match with our frequency, our vibration, our thoughts, feelings, actions, energy.
Expectations.
We attract the right people to help us learn our spiritual curriculum. That's a hard thing to understand if you're not used to the lingo.
And if you're more comfortable blaming someone else for everything in your life.
Yes.
And not taking accountability and
or
agency over
responsibility.
yourself.
We all have agency, and we all
The thing is, when you take the agency, when you say, I get to create my luck, I get to create whatever I want in life, it gives you so much power.
Oh, I know.
Like you get to take the steering wheel of whatever car you're driving and say, I go where I want to go.
You know, that's key. We should repeat what you just said, because I remember when we were working with Missy
And John?
and John Butcher.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. John and Missy Butcher. I always say John's name first. When we were working with
Well,
them,
we know Missy's running that show.
I remember John saying, take the steering wheel of the bus. You're not just a passenger in the bus, just going wherever the bus driver decides. You are taking the wheel of your own life. And that really resonated with me at the time. At the time, it hit hard. It was like, Whoa, why didn't I ever
Well,
realize
it hits
this
for
before?
me because I think of a lot of things with my metaphorical mind, and
Yeah.
I think of like road trips.
Yeah.
And right now I'm playing with this idea of main character energy.
Oh.
For like, I'm thinking, I'm writing another book, and I'm thinking about main character.
Another book. Did you just hear him? I'm writing another book.
Well, I'm thinking about main character energy, but I'm also thinking that even as a main character, someone else is writing the book. So if I can now take in my life
Yes.
the author's energy.
So you're being the artist and the art.
Yes. So good. That just gave me goosebumps.
Because I put it in my journal.
But right, see, and this is what I'm talking about. This is why I love our conversations, our marriage, all this. It's having that idea of I can stop my thoughts at being main character of my life, or I can say, is that where I'm stopping? Or do I need to go and say, no, I am the author of my life. I create whatever comes next.
I might even challenge that thought though, because I feel I'm not the sole author.
We're co-creating.
I feel we are co-creating.
100%. And that's
with
kind of where
source.
That's where I'm at with this whole thought process. So I'm trying to figure out how to dial all that in.
And I feel like source to me is something that is so big and miraculous. The universe, Mother Nature, God, it's whatever language you personally use.
Yeah.
We almost plug into it.
Because there are people out there right now going, well, what about the other things that just do happen in life? What about those smacks in the face where I'm trying to create my luck? Those, like, we are co-creating not only with source, but
Yes.
with each other.
And I also feel that those are designed to be placed in our life at strategic times to help us grow, understand, and maybe evolve our
Yes.
perspective.
It goes back to when you're talking about the spiritual curriculum.
Yes.
Like, and they're all placed in our timeline at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's goes into all these little pieces of perfection. But when we don't take that agency, when we think, oh, luck is just happenstance, then we take the opportunity to learn that lesson out of it.
I will say it's been in my darkest times that I've realized this the most. So I feel like what you're saying is that circumstances are going to happen. And I'm a prime example of that. I mean, that's why Living Lucky started.
Right?
Was
Back in
I was
1990?
1990. I was 15 years old. I was having a grand year. It was a coming of
grand
age
bunch of
year for
years.
me. I was the feature baton twirler. I was discovering boys.
Playing basketball on the varsity team at 15.
State level. I mean, it just was a really fun time for me. And then on May 23rd of 1990, which was the very last day of school, I was the passenger in a car accident. Paralyzed immediately from the chest down. And I was flown to a rehab hospital in Colorado. And while I was there, 3-4 days in, I was waiting for my physical therapist to come. And I was feeling sorry for myself. Like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me.
I've lost it all.
And a quadriplegic who was sitting in the lobby asked me if I could scratch his nose for him. I mean, he was like, oh my God, my nose.
Can't move anything
which
below
we've
his-
all had that
below his
feeling.
neck.
Right? We've
Yeah.
all had that feeling where, oh my God, my nose, oh, I can't quite get to it. And anyway, I thought it was disgusting and gross. I'm 15.
Yeah, you
and
can
yet
pick your
at the
friends,
same
but you can't
time,
pick your friend's nose.
so I helped the guy out and I scratched his nose for him. And he said to me, you have no idea how lucky you are. And at the time, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I was
You didn't
like,
have that immediate shift of,
No,
oh,
I was like,
Snow White
lucky,
birds land
are
on your
you-
shoulder.
are you delusional? Do you know who I am
Yeah. Do you
and
know
what
what I
I've
had
just
before this?
lost?
Yeah.
Yeah. And here I was dealing with everything I had lost.
Right.
But that night, when I went to bed, instead of crying myself to sleep, which I often did when the nurses would leave
Right.
and my parents were gone, I would just cry.
Took the brave mask off.
I took out my journal and I just wrote, how lucky am I? And so it all
a
really
pivotal
started
question.
with that question. So I guess, once I started making that decision and making the list, I have my parents, I have my personality, I have these great.
Well, it changed your So this goes exactly back to the trajectory, the success cycle and the doom loop, because
Yes.
it changed your focus, because you can't keep steering in a direction that you're not focused in.
And I think one advantage I had is that I was so young. I was so young, and it was easy for me I had joy inside me already. So it was easy for me to start looking at what I can do instead of what I can't do, and to look at solutions instead of problems, to look at what I have instead of what I had lost. I mean, it was just almost the opposite. It was almost like the road divided.
Right.
The road divides in the woods, and
Yeah,
though I
because
shall not travel both. I don't remember the poem.
You
exactly.
usually do, which is
I
really
know.
funny. You're so good at reciting those. And I get it, because the divide was so recent that all the assets were on both sides of the road. So you could see what previously you had listed as lost, and then you could also see what was still available.
Yes.
So on that same note, a 55-year-old woman emailed me yesterday or the day before.
What, are you stepping out on me?
You're
you
funny.
like older women now?
A bunch of women emailing me because I'm just so hot.
That is true.
No, she emailed me because she's in that position in life where she's reflecting back. She's worked so much to provide for her family, and she's at that point where she feels like she's wasted the time.
Like drunk?
No. She's wasted the previous years of her life, and she's ready for a change.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But in the reflection she's going through, I've put everyone else first.
Oh.
I've made my family happy. I haven't followed my dreams. I've worked 7 days a week.
She's waiting for her turn.
All these things where she didn't feel like she was the author of her life. Like she's
been living in other people's dreams.
Yes.
Instead of living her own dream.
So this awareness is hitting her, kind of like the question, how lucky am I in 1990 for you? Where now she has an opportunity to start taking this new direction.
Okay.
Like steering her own car.
Right. Which
like
we've talked about.
Moving in this new living lucky direction of momentum and success.
Instead of being the passenger.
Yes.
I know Wayne Dyer used to say, don't just be a piece of driftwood, just, drifting down the river. Pick a direction. Be intentional.
Be the river.
Right? Be the river.
Be the river.
So I think what you're really saying is it comes down to a choice. We all have a choice. We all have agency.
Yeah, we're either choosing to read the book, choosing not to read the book. We're choosing to have the conversation, choosing not to have the conversation.
Choosing to live the dream, choosing not to live the dream.
Choosing to show up fully, choosing to hide portions of ourselves.
It's almost like every moment of our life is a tiny little negotiation.
Right?
And when you really stop and analyze it, every little microsecond, we're constantly evaluating, maybe with even ourselves, of what value is more important. For like the woman that emailed you, up until now, it was her kids and making sure that they had everything that they needed. That was the most important thing to her. But now that they have grown their wings and can fend for themselves, it's okay. Now it's my turn.
Yeah. And I think we can always look at, how can I make sure I'm serving from a full cup, even when we have our families, So there's a way to examine this, where, like, even in a household that's full and with new babies,
Yes.
that we can say, how can I live lucky? how can I be living lucky and my children be living lucky at the same time, so that we don't end up at a point 55 years later
Where you
or 27
feel
years later
like
where,
you're wasted,
where we feel like we've missed out on a portion of us because we were giving everything to someone else.
Yes. Oh, that is being very aware, I believe.
And I think that's where it comes down to it.
And there is a happy medium in there somewhere.
Because everything is available to us all the time. And I think that's one of the things that you learned back in 1990 was I was only looking at what was lost until I became aware of, no, this is what I have and what can I build from here.
It was a gift. It was a gift in shifting my
Perspective.
mentality at that time. And I look back and it was such a micro moment, and yet it has steered the trajectory of
And
my
momentum.
life.
Yeah. I mean, world championships, Paralympic games, gold medals, Hall of Fame. Hello.
Keep them going.
Keep
No,
going.
I'm kidding.
Husband of the year. I haven't won husband of the year yet. I don't know if it's coming.
I should make that award for you. I tell you all the time.
I know.
though.
I
I tell you that you
feel
are
like
the jackpot of life,
I feel
which
like I
is
got
why
the
I feel like that is the reason that I am living lucky every day, is because I get to spend it with you.
Same.
That is my highest value.
I wake up every morning and I just think, gosh, how lucky am I? The question that started it all, and I wake up and that's the first thought on my mind every morning.
So I guess we're making this sound a little easier than it is, because
It's practice.
there is a complexity to living lucky. There are steps, there are principles. However, when you start getting the hang of it and you start practicing, like you said, these little mindset shifts.
And I'm not a dancer, but the more you do it, the easier the steps get.
Yes.
And
I
then
agree.
it just becomes the way you move through life.
Which is why we have this podcast. Keep listening to us. Make sure you hit like and subscribe.
Share it with a friend. Share it with your family.
And I would love for you to text us, email us, give us a little tidbit of what's going on in your life so that we can all start living lucky.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.